Welcome back, True Seeker. If you missed tonight's radio show, Gematria Effect, I had a caller phone in and ask me about the killing of Nia Wilson. Story from this past Sunday, July 22nd. Reportedly, she was murdered by a white supremacist at an Oakland BART station. The BART's the train there in Oakland that connects to San Francisco. Reportedly, one woman murdered, another one badly injured. And the woman who died, Nia Wilson. And for a lot of people, this story right away probably reminds them of the shooting of Oscar Grant, who was murdered at a BART station, also in the Bay Area, in Oakland. And if you're new here, I talk about the language of gematria, the ancient practice of coding numbers into words, and how propaganda that's meant to stir up people, instill fear, hate, division, it is contrived and by this code. And from what I've heard, the images put out of this supposed killing are very blurry and grainy, as they should not be in 2018, the age of cameras, high definition cameras, very clear cameras. You notice in this mainstream propaganda, it's always blurry and you can't make it out. It's because they're giving us, oftentimes, completely false news that's meant to, again, instill hate, fear, division. Exactly what this story does. So, in the language of gematria, look at the names Nia Wilson and Oscar Grant. They're a perfect overlap in the two most essential ciphers. In case you're new here, English ordinal is the alphabetic order. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to Z, the 26 letters 26. And reduction is the alphabetic order plus the rules of numerology. So, it's A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, but then when you get to J, the 10th letter, instead of J being 10 in the dark blue cipher, J is 1 plus 0. The 10th letter is 1 plus 0 equals 1. K, the 11th letter, becomes 1 plus 1 equals 2. L, the 12th letter, becomes 1 plus 2 equals 3. You make each letter a single digit number. And this practice of gematria, it's important to the people who control the media, who are predominantly Jewish and Masonic. This language of gematria, it's important to Judaism and Freemasonry. It comes from Kabbalah, which has the core belief that God created the world by merging the letter with the number. So this is biblical knowledge. It's used every single day to contrive propaganda. And those numbers 116 and 44, they have to do with death and killing. The word execution, for example, has gematria of 116 and 44. The word shooting has gematria 44 in the same cipher. Oscar Grant, killed by a shooting from a police officer. The word officer, 44. So many things that have to do with killing have gematria 44. Military, officer, trooper, infantry, soldier, and a whole lot more. Notice Oscar Grant has gematria 44 and 64. So does the word kill. So anyway, Nia Wilson, Oscar Grant, very similar gematria. 44 is also a number that has plagued black history, if you will. In the septenary cipher, African American equals 44. And think about Obama, number 44, elected 44 years after the Civil Rights Act of 64, elected in 2008. Again, the word kills 44. So is the word hope with the alphabetic order. Obama ran on hope 44. Think about MLK, killed on April 4th, 4-4. Think about Malcolm X, murdered February 21st, 1965, a date with a life lesson number of 44. His assassin was Thomas Hagen, which equals 44 in the reduction cipher. Thomas Hagen got 44 years in prison. So, Nia Wilson, Oscar Grant, very similar name, gematria. Building into the puzzle, this killing came July 22nd, 2018. That was a date with numerology of 67, 7 plus 22 plus 20 plus 18, 67. Look at Bart in gematria, 67. Look at killer in gematria, 67. Story of a psychopathic, racist killer. If somebody really died, keep in mind that blood sacrifice has gematria of 67. We see people murdered by this number all the time. Again and again, if you're new here, just check out the videos I've put out. Gematria Effect News, Gematria Effect Sports. Already did multiple videos on people being killed by this number. And in case you're new here, I used to have a very popular channel which was deleted by Google June of 2017. You know, I once predicted Prince's death because of this number. He ended up dying a span of 67 days from his ex-girlfriend, Vanity, who was killed before the 58th Grammys. Notice Oscar Grant was 22 years old, and this woman was killed on July 22nd, the 22nd day of the month. The number 79 is the 22nd prime number, and the word murder with the alphabetic order is 79. So, next, let's look at the killer. The killer said to be John Lee Conwell, 27 years old. John Lee Cowell, 27-year-old paroled felon. That's what they tell us. And his name in Gematria is an overlap with Freemasonry in 3 of the 4 ciphers. And with regards to the 59, keep in mind that in Jewish Gematria, the word kill is 59. With the alphabetic order, Negro equals 59, Slave 59, Blues 59, Motown Records came out in 59. The 58 in the dark blue cipher pops because this story is out of Oakland. Oakland equals 58. You know, the Black Panther Party was established in Oakland in the year 1966 by Huey P. Newton. And the name Huey P. Newton in the dark blue cipher also sums to 58. And just think about the Black Panther Party and race. The year of Super Bowl 50, I explained in October why Cam Newton would be in the Super Bowl and lose to Peyton Manning, the white Bronco versus the Black Panther. And Cam Newton, I explained, would become the 58th quarterback to start in a Super Bowl, which is exactly what did happen. I also explained why number 58, Von Miller, would be the MVP. I explained why there would be a Black Panther tribute at the Super Bowl, which came true. Beyonce got criticism for dressing as a Black Panther. And I said why there'd be a tribute to Super Bowl 24. The Broncos won with 24 points. And understand, I was able to predict all of this in October from understanding this code of letters and numbers. Because the people who control the world of media, which includes sports, news, and more, they do everything by this code. It's Freemasonry that controls your government and your media. And again, this code is important to them. That's why this man's name is a perfect overlap with Freemasonry in 3 of the 4 base ciphers. They said he was a racist. Look at how his last name lines up with the word racist. Overlap in 3 of the 4 ciphers. And with regards to racist, it has Gematria 47. The date of this incident, July 22nd, 18. 7 plus 22 plus 18. Date with 47 numerology. Not coincidentally. You learn this code, you can see through a lot in this world. You can see how propaganda is contrived. You can see how sports games are rigged. And you can see how the narratives overlap and intertwine. Think about Super Bowl 50. It came in the time where the media was really cooking up more racially divisive propaganda than they had done in decades. You know? So, something I didn't cover was this woman's name, and I haven't even looked at it, but let's just do it right now. Latifah Wilson. You got to make sure your spelling's right. So, Letifah. Latifah Wilson. You see the 63? You know how they just opened up the Emmett Till case 63 years after his death? Racism 63. And remember the Roseanne Barr story about how she was kicked off the show for a racist tweet? That came 63 days after the debut episode of the new show. And all throughout history, this number 63 coded into purposeful racism. So, Latifah Wilson. That was her name, right? Latifah Wilson, 63. What else stands out about her name is 153. That's the 17th triangular number. The word kill also has gematria of 17. The word Negro, like I said, with the alphabetic order 59, like slave 59, like blues 59, like jigaboo 59, darky 59. Again, Motown came out in 59. 59 is the 17th prime number. 153 is the 17th triangular number. If you add 1 through 17 together, it equals 153, 59, 17. So I think that's where they're going with the coding. This story is likely completely contrived BS with made-up names, made-up victims, made-up killer. This goes on every single day in your news media. Every single day this goes on. And again, it's meant to instill hate, division, fear, does all these things. It's not to say that racism isn't real. It's not to say that people don't really get killed. This stuff happens. But when it's in the news, almost every single time, without exception, it's contrived propaganda by this code. Let me look at her name again. Latifah. See the 34 and 38? Murder. This is a story of murder and killing. This woman nearly died. That number 38 right there, killing 38, death 38. It's the story's about. So, yeah, that's enough for now, Truth Seeker. You think this stuff's a coincidence? You apply the code the next time you see one of these stories. And you're going to see how redundant it gets. They use the same numbers again and again. All throughout history. So. Here, I'll show you something. I want to make sure I get the spelling right. Again, Malcolm X was killed on a date with 44 numerology. It was the Audubon Ballroom. I just forget how to spell it. But I know what the gematria is when it's spelled right. This is the spot. This is where Malcolm X was killed. Audubon Ballroom. And notice the address 3940. Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. both killed at age 39. Notice it was on West 165th Street. I'll just show you this. Audubon Ballroom. Gematria of 58. Look in the same cipher. Freemasonry. Secret society. You see? Same gang doing the same stuff all throughout history. And with regards to 165th, it's the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry that runs this nation. It's the most Jewish branch of Freemasonry. And there's a whole lot more to that. Pick up my book, Letters and Numbers. Read the chapter on the race war. Better yet, read the whole book. But you read the chapter on the race war by the numbers, cover everything we talked about in this video, and a whole lot more. See the video I put out on Bill Cosby's racial shaming today and why it came today. All right, Truth Seeker. If you want the link to buy the book, put it down below. 773 pages, and I priced it just at $5 so everyone can afford it. Book's worth its weight in gold. You can get it for $5. All right, until next time.